So today's lesson is lesson 12:1, lines that intersect circles. All right, but we're starting with just these two simple things, which I think are pretty easy to understand. The interior of a circle is the set of all points, what? The circle, blank. The interior would be all the points that are what? On the what? Inside. Yeah. Inside. Oh.
What was that?
That was a different brush. I can use different brushes. I always just use the pencil though. Inside the circle. The exterior of a circle is a set of all points outside.
Is that cursive?
I guess so. Let's keep ourselves in control, please, Mr. Corey. Thank you. The interior of a circle is all the points inside. The exterior is all the points outside. I think that's pretty easy to understand. So we're not going to talk. Yes, good job. All right, but now we're going to get into some other things that we need to learn the vocabulary of. Okay. So this is what I'm going to put up on the board, and then we're going to talk about it. All right. A chord is a segment whose endpoints lie on a circle. This is a chord. A secant is a line that intersects a circle at 2 points. That's a secant. A tangent is on a line that intersects the circle at exactly 1 point. That's a tangent. And the point where the tangent and the circle meet or intersect is called the point of tangency. That's the point of tangency. Okay? So that's it really quickly. Really quickly. Now, let's talk about it in a little bit more details. Let's see. Can I make a circle? I think I can. Okay. It's kind of tough to get to be exactly a circle. All right, good. Circle. Okay. So this is a circle. Now, I want some volunteers. Someone come up to the board and draw a chord. Come up to the board and draw a chord. All right. Okay. Draw a chord. That is a chord. Very good. Nicely done. And why is this a chord? Cool, nice. The endpoints lie in the circle. You see that? If I make this go a little bit out like this, no longer a chord. If I go like this, no longer a chord. But if the endpoints lie in the circle, then there you go. It's a chord. Does that make sense? Okay. So that's a chord. 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 All right. Somebody else come up and draw a chord. Who else wants to draw a chord? Go ahead. Come on, quick, fast, hustle, 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 hustle. Matthews, you want to come up too? Okay, you can come up too. Come on, whoa. Careful, careful. You want to draw a chord? Okay, careful. Good catch. Draw a chord. You can draw a chord too. Come on, here you go. Draw a chord. Draw a chord. Yeah, come on.
Let's go.
Quickly, guys, draw chords. I need to see lots of chords. Lots of chords.
Oh, wait, it's kind of straight.
Good job.
That is so
Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. Cool. Cool. And for the record, that's all really good. And also, like, this is a chord too, right? It intersects any way you want it. It's chords. Cool. Chords. Got it. Cool. So those are chords. That's really good. And if you're watching this video right now, you didn't see any of that, but that's okay. All right. Chord. Chord is something that goes from one end to the other. Yeah, I'm recording.
Hi, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube. What's up, dude?
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so that's a chord. All right, now I want to draw not a chord, but a secant. Who thinks they can draw a secant? Andrea, come on up. Here you go. Draw a secant. She can draw a secant. Oh, there it is. That's a pretty good one. Nice. Good job. Secant line. Okay, who else wants to draw secants? Reese, Come on.
Akira.
Nice. Akira, come on up. There you go. You can do it. Who else? Who else?
I'll draw a secant.
Okay, draw a secant. Marcus wants to
Rachel.
draw a secant.
Rachel.
Come on, Marcus. Come on.
My marker. Yeah, I did it for you.
Nice. Nice. Oh, wow.
I'll draw a scan.
Okay. You guys did it. You drew
Those of you
secants.
guys cut pie.
Good. You see that? Bam, that's a secant right there. So don't ever let anyone tell you that you can't draw a secant. Haha, because you can. All right. All right, so that was a secant. Very good. And and why is it a secant? Because it's a line that intersects at 2 points. So this is a line, which means it doesn't have endpoints. Okay? So it's a line that intersects at 2 points. Very good. That's a secant. All right? Good. Now, the next one. Ooh, this is a challenging one. Tangent. Tangent, opposite, adjacent. You guys recognize it? Tangent.
Can we watch that video today?
No. All right. You in?
I'd
I'd like to see a tangent. A tangent.
Opposite
Oh, I can't see the
It's
circle.
okay. You can do it.
Does he have a Leon circle?
Oops,
Not there.
probably. I don't know.
Watch
Very good. Okay, you got to draw the little arrows.
That's the point of tendency, right?
Very good.
Yeah, the point's
Very good. So, it's good that she shows that point. What, Priscilla, why is this a tangent?
Because it is.
Very good.
Because it, yeah. Because it's on the line of the circle.
Okay, because how many points does it intersect at?
One.
Very good. It intersects at only 1 point. Good job. A tangent line intersects at only 1 point. The difference between a secant and a tangent is a secant intersects at 2 points. A tangent intersects at only 1. Who else would like to draw a tangent? Go ahead. Yes, you can do it. Who else? Who else? Come on.
Marcus
Yes,
hasn't gone up.
Marcus.
Marcus.
Marcus, drop the scissors. I don't want to throw a pencil at you with scissors in your hand. But I do want to.
Don't wait, don't throw it.
No, put those scissors down.
And it's getting stuff
Yeah,
right.
wait for that.
I said nothing.
All right. Tangent.
I said
Yeah. That's very good. Very good. Wait, why did you draw a wavy one? You
I
took a
know,
special, just
creative.
making it creative. Okay, cool,
It's
nice.
still a
Special. It looks like sine waves on a tangent. Whoa. No, it can't be like that. Oh, it's okay. It's okay, Marcus. No, it's just a line. You can do it. It's just a line that intersects at one line.
Marcus.
It's just a
You
line.
can do it. Come on. There you go.
It's not even
That
on
was
there.
good. That was good. I could have
You know what I
accepted
meant.
that. No, do it. You can do it. Nice. Good job. Now draw the end line arrow markers. Good job. Good. And class, what makes it a tangent? It intersects at how many points?
1.
It intersects at 1 point. Good. And what are those points called?
Tangent.
What are those points called? Yes, listen. Those points are called points of tangency. Shh. Those points are called, class. Let's see if I can do something cool. Look. Look, they're called points of tangency. So look, that's a point of tangency. That's a point of tangency. That's a point of tangency. Oh, that didn't work out.
Circles and lines.
That's a point of tangency. Shh. And that's a point of tangency.
It's like a hexagon kind of thing.
You see? Oh, and there's one more. There's one more.
Like the line between kind of like
And that's a point of tangency. So you see that, guys? All these pay attention. Let's pay attention. Okay? So these are all tangent lines, and all these points are points of tangency. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay. So these are tangent lines that intersect at only one point. All right. Very good. Okay. So now, what you're going to do is, on your handout, you're going to identify all the chords, all the tangents, all the radii. Oh, you guys should know what a radii is, right?
Wow,
I
middle.
know what a radius is.
It's the middle. Radius is.
A radius, look, a radii is just plural of radius. So a radius just goes from the center to a point on the circumference. That's a radius.
It's like a lot of radiuses.
What's
And
that?
what's a radius?
Okay. So, all right. So,
What do you spell?
so now you're on your handout. You're identifying all the chords, tangents, radiuses,
What diameter is that?
Is there
and diameter. What was that?
Kahoot?
Yeah. And a diameter. A diameter. Listen. A diameter goes through the center. Now, what is this? This blue line? Which? It's a chord.
And a diameter.
But it's a chord that goes through the center. Listen to that carefully. A diameter is a chord that goes through the center. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, wait. So would you put the same thing?
Good. Good. Yeah, it's a chord and a diameter. Exactly.
Are we on the next page?
No, the first page, Marcus, is the bottom.
I'm on the next page. The one is-
Marcus,
Yes.
why not, you're too far from me. I like you when you're over here in my neighborhood. Come over here.
Our seat's over
Too
there.
far. Come on.
Right.
Oh my
Don't you remember your permanent
That's where
seat?
I forgot.
How can we forget?
Okay. Shh. Come on. Let's focus in. Let's focus in.
Okay, alright.
You can do it. Let's focus in. All right. Which one of these are chords? Which one is a chord?
BC.
BC. Very good. Look, BC has an endpoint here and an endpoint here, so it's a chord. Which of these are tangents?
C.
Well, it's not really line C, it's line L.
Wait, then why is this? Oh, it's a point.
C is just a point on the line, so it's line L. This line here. This line here is line L. Marcus, right here. You can do it. I just want you right here next to me because, I just like you, man. All right. Which of them are... Which is a radius? Which are radii? From A to C is a radii. And what else?
A to B.
From A to B is also a radii. You see? So from this point to this point...
So
and
we
that,
can't just say A.
no, because that's not a line. A line segment is defined by 2 points. Okay? Which of these is a secant?
EF.
EF. Very good. EF is a secant. And which is a diameter? BC. BC. BC is a chord and a diameter. What's the difference between a diameter and a chord? Well, there is no difference, but what makes it a diameter?
Because it's through the middle.
It goes through the center point. A diameter is a chord that goes through the center point. Let me write that down. A diameter is what? Is a chord that goes through the center. Does that make sense?
Yes.
A diameter is a chord that goes through the center of the circle. All right? Everybody on the same page? Yeah, because we're on the first page. Now let's turn to the second page. Get it? All right. Second page. Here we go.
I placed the last one for today.
Ooh, wait.
Wait, we have more classes.
Maybe
Yeah.
more.
Woohoo!
Gosh.
Oh, no, we're not ready for the Kahoot yet.
I should have worked.
Okay.
Maybe that W is-
Now let's take a look at this. Shh. Let's take a look at this now. Two circles are congruent, circles. Remember, what does congruent mean? Same
size.
And
Angle.
shape. Same size and shape. So two circles are congruent if they have the same radii, okay, which means they're the same size. So let me give you an example, okay? These two circles here, are they congruent? No, they sure are not congruent, okay? These two circles here, are they congruent?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, they're not exact, but you get the idea. They're the same size, okay? Looks like a smiley face. All right. So congruent circles is easy because it's the same size. You've been used to this. Concentric. Con in Spanish means with, right? Centric, center, with the same center. Concentric means the same center. Check it out. Same center. Got it? Okay. So concentric means with the same center. All right, so let's take a look. These two circles here, are they concentric? Are they concentric?
No.
No. Here's one center. Here's the other center. It looks like googly eyes.
Looks like a Homer Simpson.
Do they have the same center? No, they're not concentric. What about this circle here and this circle here? Are they concentric? Yes, they are concentric. Does that make sense? Okay, now the last is tangent. Tangent basically means they're touching at a point. You see? So tangent, circles touch at that point. You see that? This is internally tangent. Why do you think it's internally?
Inside.
One circle's inside the other. These are externally tangent, touching at one point because they're both outside of each other. You see?
Why is it called tangent? Why is it called tangent?
It's called tangent because tangent means touching.
Tangent.
Tangent means touching.
Tangible.
Does that make sense?
What?
What?
Has something to do with
The opposite adjacent? It does. It does. It's just that if I were to show you how tangent relates, I'm going into like advanced trigonometry type of stuff that most trigonometry kids don't even learn. You know what I mean? Most kids in pre-cal don't even learn why tangent is this word, which means touching, and also SOHCAHTOA tangent. Most kids don't know that.
Wait, no what?
And I could totally teach you, and I would love to.
Wait, blow my mind.
But we'd get too deep. But you understand? Shh. Tangent, touching. Tangent, touching. At how many points? Uno. 1 point. How many points?
1.
1 point. How many?
1.
1 point.
No.
Tangent touches at 1 point. Okay, very good. Very good. Now, shh. Okay, you crazy children. All right.
We can't compare ourselves to the classroom very
You
well.
have to express.
Express.
If we finish early, we go for a walk.
Express.
Maybe. All right.
Do we have time?
All right, find you guys on your own. You don't need me to tell you how to do this. Find the radius of circles C and D. Go. Do it now. Go ahead. Do it now. Faster.
Is there externally tangent?
Shh.
I don't know how to do this. The externally.
Don't worry about anything other than finding the radius.
So,
Okay?
like how far?
Find the radius and the point of tangency. Find the radius and the point of tangency. That's it. Find the radius of each circle and the point of tangency. Go.
There's 2 and 2.
There's 2 circles, so each one has a radius.
Wait, the radius to the black line? My God. My God. My God. My God.
Did you guys get the answer? Did you guys get it? Off the phone. What's the phone?
So wait, this point right, is that from that to the line?
Let's look. Shh. Okay, look, children, young ones, look at me. The radius of D is this right here, right? How long is the radius of D? 3. RD is 3. That's the radius of D. Does that make sense? What about the radius of C? Yeah, there you go. Radius of C is 1. Where's the point of tangency?
Externally and -1.
There. That's the point of tangency. What are the coordinates of that point?
-1.
1, 2 over
1. -1.
and -1. So 2, -1 is the point of tangency. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So point of
So where did you get 2
tangency,
from? Oh, never mind. Never mind. Where did you get 2 from?
2 over 1 down.
Why'd you start at the end?
Because that's here's the origin. Look, this is the origin. So I go over 1, 2, and down 1. Does that make sense? Look, I go over 2 and down 1. So that's point of tangency is at 2, -1. Does that make sense to you guys? Yeah? Okay. All right. At this point, okay, at this point we can do a little cahooting.
Can we do team modes?
What?
Can we do team mode? Like,
Team mode?
yeah.
I like it individual because not everyone plays.
We're still playing.
We did talk about this a lot.
Oh, I don't know. Does that work?
Did we used to play it?
What?
I thought we used to play it in this class.
Was it live?
Team mode?
We did, right? Yeah, we did it once.
We did a Quizlet once?
No, we did it like 5 times.
I never did a Quizlet.
It was in this class.
It's live. Live. This was a live.
We did?
Yeah.
Was it?
Like we did it like 5 times.
Yeah, we did.
I don't even remember ever doing the Quizlet. I did it though, huh?
We have good memories.
Oh, very good.
That name isn't loading.
I know.
It's triggering.
Tangent, loading, Red Hood,
It's just loading.
Fortnite, God, that's blasphemous.
Yeah, usually it's just loading down.
No, it's the game is loading.
No, I think the username is literally just
Who are you waiting on?
What?
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Who are we waiting on? Is that everybody? No.
Base. Is that appropriate?
I'm waiting on one person.
Big bass.
Is that appropriate?
Big bass.
It's insulting to me.
Yeah. Coleman been knocked out.
It's inappropriate, you young man.
Okay.
Who's Marcus? Inappropriate.
What?
You should go see
You get kicked out on the
bag.
What?
Fill in the blank. A blank is a line in the plane of a circle that intersects the circle at 2 points.
Never mind.
Intersects the circle at 2 points. Which one? Secant or tangent? You should know this. Secant or tangent intersects the circle at 2 points.
No, it's tangent.
Secant. Secant.
Sorry, I lied.
It's rough, Priscilla. It's rough.
Sorry.
Alright, fill in the blank. Coplanar circles that have the same center are called concentric or congruent.
Oh,
Same center.
Congrats.
Concentric or congruent. Concentric has the same center. Concentric or congruent.
Will you put it in for it? Will you show people?
How big is
I don't know.
We know it's your bit.
Talk about Megan Trainor.
It's concentric. Concentric with the same center. I don't know. I kicked you out because I'm sorry.
It's alright.
Q and R have a radius of 3.
You need bath, big bath.
Q and R have a radius of 3. Therefore, the circles are. They have the same radius, which means they're Congruent. Very good.
I'm in third behind loaded.
Okay, find the radius of circle A. Find the radius of circle A.
That's
Find the radius of circle A.
I'm not locked in, and I don't believe that's right.
Three.
I was hoping you.
Why is it 3?
No way.
Look, pay attention,
Wait,
class.
is it-
Here's the center.
Oh.
Here's the edge.
Why don't you just do it one circle?
2.
Yeah,
Three.
I thought it was about the little one.
No. Circle A. Circle A. You
Oh
gotta
my
think.
God.
This is not the center of this little circle.
Oh.
That's the center of the little
Oh.
circle.
Oh.
See? You gotta be able to decipher it visually.
I knew you stressed
Good job.
but I fast too. I don't know why.
All right. Okay. All right. Very good. Now, we move on to our next thing. We have one more question, but I haven't taught you how to do that one yet.
It's just a challenge.
Okay. Shh. Look. First off, look. Both of these lines are tangent to both of these circles. Here, tangent here, and here. You see that? Tangent. Okay? This one, look, is tangent here, 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 and here. You see that? Does that make sense? Okay. So these are called common tangents because it's tangent to two different circles. You see? So it's common tangent for both of those circles. This one is called an external tangent, and this one's called an internal tangent. Why do you think this is called an external tangent?
It's on the outside.
It's on the outside. Why is this an internal tangent?
It's on the inside.
Bam. Skills and realness. All right. Good job. That's that. So common tangents. These things make sense. Okay. Now the last thing. Check it out. Or second to last thing. Next page has two theorems that are basically the same thing, okay? So don't worry about reading it, just look at it. What this shows is that if I've got a tangent line, it's perpendicular to a radius. Got that? The tangent is perpendicular to the radius. Okay, so I want everybody to write that on their sheets. Write tangent, do it like this. Tangent, perpendicular, radius. Okay? That sign means perpendicular. If that sign is not good for you, then write both of them. Actually, write both of them. Tangent, perpendicular. You would say tangent is perpendicular to radius. Okay? Tangent is, you either write this or that, or actually write them both. Both of them. Write both of them. Now, go. Right under here. Under here is fine. Tangent is perpendicular to radius, or up here is fine, wherever you want. Just write it down with your hands, with your fingers, with
You mean
your
with our
writing
hands?
instrument. Go, not on this page, on this page. Tangent. Guys, the tangent and radius are what? Perpendicular. The tangent is what to the radius? Good. The radius is what to the tangent? Perpendicular. Good. The tangent and the radius are perpendicular. The tangent, we are. We're like butter. You know why? Because we're on a roll.
Wait, is there an honor roll?
You heard that YouTube?
Is there an honor
Yeah.
roll here, like an AV honor roll?
What?
Is there like an AV honor roll?
Yeah.
Like straight A honor roll?
There's A, B,
Yeah.
and X.
Okay.
Is there a trying hard on roll?
Yes.
There actually is motion
Look,
Yes.
the tangent is perpendicular to the radius. Got it? Okay. Now the really last thing. And this part is definitely important. So listen carefully. Shh, 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 shh. Shh, shh, shh.
What was that?
Look. Shh, shh, shh. Look at this, guys. Look at this for a second. Okay? Just look. if I have two lines that are tangent to the circle and they intersect at a point, you see this? So these two lines are tangent at this point of tangency and this point of tangency. You see that? Does that make sense? Well, what does it look like these two lines are? They're not perpendicular, they're congruent. Okay? So does that make sense? So two tangent lines are congruent. If I've got two lines that are tangent to the same circle, then they're congruent. Those line segments between this point and their points of intersection. Does that make sense to you guys? Is that pretty clear? Okay. Now, turn to the last page. We're almost done with our lesson, guys. This is like record time.
Is it time for a walk?
It's not time for a walk, no.
It's time to go outside.
People sunny day.
All right. Shh. Let's take a look on your back page at this example problem. Take a look right here. What do I know about those two lines, segments? They're what? They're congruent. Okay, so if I'm solving, guys, if I'm solving for their length, what do I do?
You equal them to each other.
Very good. So I set them equal.
And then you subtract those through y.
Good. And then I can subtract 5y from both sides to get the y's with the y's. I end up with negative 28 equals negative 2y. Then what do I do? By,
2.
not just 2, but negative 2. Very good. Very good. And I get y equals, what's negative 28 divided by negative 2? 14. Good. So I get that y is equal to 14, but wait a second. Does that tell me how long it is?
Now
What do I have to do?
Implement it.
Plug it in.
Into the equation.
Did you guys see that? Did you follow that?
Yes.
I plug it in. Here, this one I get 3 times 14, which is what?
42.
42. Very good. 3 times 14 is 42. So wait a second. Do I have to plug it in here? What should this be equal to?
42.
It should be the same thing, but if we plug it in, let's see what we get. 5 times 14 minus 28. 5 times 14 is 70. Minus 28 is, dun dun dun, 42. So we just showed that when we solved for y and plugged it back in, that they were equal to each other, which is exactly what should happen because those two line segments are what? Congruent. Very good. Okay, now what I'd like you guys to do, is do 4B on your worksheet. Okay, do 4B on your own. So solve for the length of the segments. Okay, so do it quickly. Come. Solve for the length of the segments. Do it now. You can do it. Show me how.
Where do we find it?
The length of the segments.
Alright.
Yeah. So read the question right. Yep, got it. RS. Very good.
That seems like it is wrong. Do math. Do mental. Do we be able to use whatchamacallits on the test or whatever?
I'm not sure yet.
But the question should be simple though, right? Like,
Yeah, this is an easy one. Okay. All right. Shh. Let's take a look. Okay, these two lines are tangent, which means they're what class? Congruent. Congruent. If I want to solve for their length, what do I do? Set them equal. N plus 3 equals, Matthew, 2n minus 1. Okay? subtract n from both sides. I get 3 equals n minus 1. Then I add 1 to both sides. And I get that n is equal to 4. Am I done? What do I do? Plug it in. Here I get 2 times 4 minus 1. 2 times 4 is 8. Minus 1 equals 7. Do I have to plug it into this one?
Well, you could.
What do I know it's already equal to? 7. But I can always check. I get 4 plus 3 equals 7. Cool? Do you guys understand that? Any questions?
It said find RS.
Yeah, RS is 7.
I know, but you didn't see R.
It doesn't matter.
Ah, no.
They have to be congruent to each other.
They have to be congruent to each other.
If not, it's wrong.
Does that make sense, Priscilla? You good?
Only
Okay.
if not, it's wrong.
Yeah, now class, look, what happens, Colton? What if I plugged them into both of them and they were different answers? What does that tell me?
You're wrong.
It tells me that I did something wrong. I made a mistake, right? Because chances are there's no mistake in the problem. If there is, I'm sorry, but chances are there's no mistake in the problem. If you plug it back into both of them, you see that they're not equal, you probably made a mistake in your arithmetic. Does that make sense? Or your algebra. The answer is 7. The lines are equal to 7. You have to find n first to then solve for the line segments. All right, you guys ready to Kahoot?
Yeah.
All right, next question. Go. Find the line segment JK.
Wait.
No, you have 114 seconds.
Find the line segment JK.
JK, so we have to do it.
Find the line segment JK.
Wait.
You can do it.
Does it matter which outside we take from now, right?
It's not working. I know
Oh,
it is.
it's this. This one.
Good job.
No, careful. That's
Wait,
solving
it's
for
wrong?
X. That's solving for X, but you're not just solving for X.
Oh,
you're
oh,
the length
then
of the
it's.
segment.
Oh. I put them.
It's wrong. At least we know you got it.
At least we know what X is.
You said I'm equal to each other. Subtract 2x. No, this is 4 minus 2 is 2. That should be 2x. You should end up with 4x minus 1 equals 2 plus 9. Subtract 2x. You get 2x minus 1 is 9. Add 1. 2x equals 10. 4 multiplied by 2.
66% you got done.
5. And you just plug it back into JK. You get 4 times 5 minus 1 equals 20. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, you guys done? 5, 4, 3. Nice. All right. Look. Look. How do you do this? They're tangent, which means these two line segments are congruent. To solve, you set them equal. 4x minus 1 equals 2x plus 9. Subtract 2x from both sides. I get 2x minus 1 equals 9. Add 1 to both sides. I get 2x equals 10. Divide by 2. X equals 5. Am I done? No.
Yes. Oh, no.
4 times 5 minus 1 is 20 minus 1, which is 19, which is my final answer. Does that make sense? Any questions on that? No? All right, so check it out. That's the end of the lesson.
No homework.
You have homework, but you also have a daily quiz. So everyone, yeah, but I don't want to see you until Friday.
Wait, today's Wednesday.
What?
Yes, sir.
Bro, my week is messed up.
Wednesday?
Yeah. All right. So guys, you guys got a daily quiz to do right now. You have about 10 minutes to do it.
If we all finish early, can we go on a 2-second walk?
A 2-second walk.
1, 2.
All right. Thank you, class. All done for the day.